Okay. So I made her the co-host too by accident. Sorry, Angela, but you got the powers. Do whatever you want with them. So, okay, welcome everyone tonight to our call. Yes, we are just back from Cancun. Polly and I landed late last night, and as you would imagine, it was incredible. I mean, like every time I go on these trips, I'm just so amazed. Like you're just like, is this really real? Like, do we really not have to pay for anything? And like we're really spoiled like this. And it was funny because when I was leaving, and then Paul, I didn't tell you about this lady. So, because I have a call with her on Wednesday, but I was being sold a timeshare. And when I was leaving, and like something like they're like, if you pay $500, you can come back for 5 days for 4 people, but this, and I'm just like, oh no, that's okay. And so she came back to me. This is the girl I have a call with on Wednesday. And she's like, can I ask why you don't want to do it? And I was like, well, I earned this trip and I plan to earn two a year. Like, so I don't need to buy my own trip. And then she's like, that's nice. And then of course I was like, well, I can show you how to do it too. But anyway, so all that to say, the thing that I could not stop thinking about when we were there is how I wanted all of y'all there. And I'm not just saying that, like seriously, like I think about like how much fun would it be like with your husband, with your children, with like your grandmother, with your aunt, like whatever it is, whoever you bring, like, I mean, it's amazing because like, even like the other people that we get to know, like we get to know like their families, like you get to know them, and just like have so much fun together. And that's just what I think, like, I'm just like, why not? We heard so many stories of people who, there's these two girls in particular on our wave who signed up to do Arbonne after the trip was launched. And not only did they earn level 3 of the trip, but they were both regional vice presidents. And, I was pointing out people to Polly, like that I would have conversations with, and I'm like, okay, that lady right there, went to region in 5 months. She's a nation now. Like, it was just, in like, there's nothing like, it's like really like, I mean, girl next door, like completely, like, so I know on social media, we see all of these things that like, oh, superstar this, superstar that, or influencer, but like, it's so awesome just to see like people who are there and just to hear their stories, and it just made me think the longer we were there, God, I wish like I thought of every one of you. I'm like, how much fun would it be like getting to know your husband? It's like I hear about them all the time, but like I don't know them, and it would just be so much fun. And so what I want to do is like, we're going to open this up in a minute, but I want to share with you one thing to be excited about, like where Arbonne is going with this new leadership. I mean, I love the leadership that we had before. I mean, like this new leadership is just so funny. Like everyone's like great. Like John David was great for taking us to be like, like a B Corp, and then, get like some of the infrastructure stuff done. This group seems like they're going to be really good at like, how do we teach them duplication? How do we teach them like the experience? And it's like all about taking it back to the experience, not only like for us, but our customers too. And like really in a way like that, it's like, it doesn't matter what your goals are. Like, it doesn't matter if you want to build a direct selling business. Like if you're like, look, $200 a week would be nice. That's awesome. Like that should be like, don't feel any pressure to be like, I've got to go to the top, or if your goal is to go to the top, but what I love is that like, and in the future, there's going to be like a spot for everyone. You know what I'm saying? Like, so anyone can come at this in this business and they don't have to be like, wanting to do this. It could just be something so simple, or maybe they just want the community. And so I really love like just how the company's really focusing on that, and just really focusing on, like, to me, it feels like they're very much focusing on, how like we always like lead with a business, and we always have, but like a lot of time, like, I mean, I feel like our group is really good at like leading with a business, but not like offering the business first, like really like, selling product and having people be preferred clients. But like, they really see the importance of that they like, there's been this trend in network marketing where it's all about the opportunity, but it's not about just like some people are like, they just need to see what the protein's like, or they need to like have the fizz, or they need to like have the experience, and I think about this, with Simon Sinek's It Starts With Why, and I think about companies he highlights like Apple and Southwest, and I think about this, like I paid a little bit more for a Southwest flight because I like the experience better, like they're just nice. Like they let you take two bags. They don't charge you for Wi-Fi. Like, I mean, it's just like, and it's like, it's funny because it's like when it's all said and done, I probably would have spent the same amount I did on American, but like it was just like the experience is different. Same thing with Zappos. I might find the same shoes a little bit less on Bloomingdale's, but with Zappos, like I know the customer service is outstanding. So I'll always buy on Zappos. And so like that's how I want it to be. And that's why I think that they're doing with Arbonne is like they want us to be like the experience, like people get a good feeling when they do business with Arbonne. Okay, so that's where the company's going. What I want to talk about tonight is, okay, so Polly and I want you guys on the next trip, like so bad, and it is so doable to do. But I just want us to sit back and talk about like, and have you guys think about this. What is it that we can do to help you? Because, we can't motivate people. I mean, like, that's not like no one can motivate someone else to do anything. Like we can inspire people, but we can't motivate you. We have all the tools, like you literally could like walk into this business and we didn't have a website. We didn't have like tools. We didn't have that. And you could still go straight to the top of this company if that's what you wanted. So it's not that we're lacking in any of those things. So I just want to sit back for a minute and hear from all of y'all, just kind of like what you're needing, like from us and as a team, because we want to do this as a team. I mean, it's no fun like doing it by yourself, like, I mean, it's lonely, and it's just so much fun, like when we can come together as a community, and lift each other up. So, and then one thing before I be quiet and listen to what everyone says. We're going back, well, not going back because we've been having a call every week for as long as I've been doing Arbonne, but we're going to have a call just the first Sunday of the month. I've been thinking about it a lot lately just because, not everyone's getting on the calls. So that just tells me that it's not really needed. And, with technology and the way that we communicate with each other, like I feel like by the time I get on the call, the people who are going for the things, I've already had 5 conversations about that during the week, so like, I feel like there's going to be other platforms for those who are going for the call, but like really the purpose of this call is just to build community and come together. And I think there's no better time to do that than the first Sunday of the month, because we can go over, like, celebrate everyone's successes from the month before, and then have some inspiration. And then, like we'll connect as needed, in smaller groups and that sort of thing. So just wanted to put that out there. So next Sunday we will have a call because it's the first Sunday of the month, but then we won't be having a call every Sunday after that. So, and I just hope that that's helpful, and if it needs to change later, it can change later. But I do feel like it's just was becoming more of like a burden, like more of a thing you had to do. And like, we don't want the business to feel like that, And so what we have instead to offer is like the Saturday skill. Oh, I see someone just put that. Oh, Polly did the Saturday skills training. It's on our Facebook page. We've been invited to that a while ago. You can catch the recording, but man, is it so awesome to catch it live, because like you are on there with like 20 something VPs, and it's every Saturday morning, rain or shine. And like, again, like people are in baseball caps, workout clothes, like no one's fancy. And you just hop on and it's 30 minutes, like they are done. But like, it is awesome training. So I'm going to be plugging into that every Saturday morning, the ones that I can make it to, unless we have a game or something like that. And then, catch the recording. So everyone is welcome to go to that. And I think that will fill you up for what you're needing. So I want to step back and just listen to y'all, and again, I know I'm putting you on the spot, but just what is it that you're needing to do, like to get to where you want to go in this business?
I'll go first. Excuse me, y'all. I've been sick this weekend, so I'm not like sounding the best, but um I think something, and I don't know if this is like a from y'all thing or just an encouragement side. And I know that there's some of us who are doing a like leveling up group outside of this that I think will kind of hone into it. But just like a reminder of the why aspect. I think for so long, like we, focus on that, and not even just we, but like me, I focused on that for a minute, and it's kind of shifted away from that, at least for me, and turned more into like just goal setting, which, behind the goals, there is the why. But a personal goal of mine is like getting back into like my daily, whether it be affirmations, whether it be like looking at like my vision board and like looking at like my reasons why and going over that like before my reach out even, hoping that like that intent will be there. And I think that'll also like on days when I'm sick, and I want to make excuses in my head, like thinking about that aspect of it versus in maybe just the goal at the end, although it's important to have those goals there, if that makes sense.
No, that's great. In fact, on Saturday skills training yesterday, they talked about transactional goals versus transformational goals.
Mm.
And that's exactly that, is that you don't want to just be caught up in the transaction. Like that's, you want to be like, again, the reason why behind it. No, so that's good. Like keeping that out there. And I guess that comes from like inspiration too.
Mm. Well, I guess I watched the playback from yesterday.
That is really good. It's so good. I actually was thinking about you in that. I actually was thinking about four different people for different, totally two different, like so many different reasons. But it was really good.
I have a question about, so with the sharing bonus program, in terms of like reaching out, like I kind of feel overwhelmed because there's so many people from like clients and people in the past that I want to reach out to about it. But like by the time I download that whole list, it's like hundreds. So like how would y'all go about doing that? And like sharing information about it. Like I had someone be like, can you just send me some info about it? As I sent them like the flyer and like a word vomit text. And I was like, this is probably not the best way to do that. So
Well, I think like one thing that came out about the sharing bonus, so we were wrong on the training last week a little bit. Like, I mean, because I mean, and again, I feel like it was confusing, that it's not very clear as to what like it is, but like, so there's the sharing bonus, which we talked about last week, but then there's the affiliate program, which we thought it was the same thing, which
Mhm.
BP support told us all it was the same thing.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, so I mean, there's definitely some confusion there, but there's going to be an affiliate status. So like, I don't know, like if you want, like, if you're going to like hold off and wait or just do the sharing bonus now and then make them affiliates later, but there's going to actually be an affiliate status. So there's a preferred client, affiliate, and consultant. Does that make sense?
Oh,
So like,
interesting.
yeah, so I got that clarified having cocktails before dinner with this VP that and I was like, are you sure? Because we just did a training on this. She's like, I am absolutely sure. She's like, it's going to come out in September, like August, September. So the affiliate designation. So it's like the training wasn't wrong last week. We just were talking about like, so everything that we told you last week is correct. The only difference is I think we said you have to sign up as a consultant and not an affiliate, but there will be an affiliate
Like sign up
designation.
thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So, so
Is it going to be like a preferred client type fee or like?
I don't know. I don't know. And I've heard them talking before that they're going to do away with the preferred client sign up fee. I mean, I heard this like months ago, but I mean, no one said anything about that there in Mexico. But but I mean, I know that the big goal is to make products more accessible for everyone, so like how they offered those smaller packages, like age well packages and brighten up packages smaller, so it's like people, the healthy habit set, so people can get in at a lower price point to make it affordable. And so I think that was part of the idea with the $29, that they're working with different things on that. So I mean, I think that that's the exciting thing. that they're recognizing like this need, you know, like it shouldn't be exclusive. Like we should have like everyone be able to have, like, why not, you know, access to healthy products. But one thing I was thinking, like, Gabby, like, I don't know if you have the app Reach, but like if you download it and you download it into Reach, like it'll probably take you like 5 or 10 minutes to like do it and like get the cells right and all that. And then you send them out one by one, but it'll give them the first name. But I was even thinking something like maybe even a s'more, like, or something like that. I mean, we don't have one made. And I know I can't commit to making one right now because I'm working on a series of s'mores for those messenger events. But like if someone wants to put together something like that, or
Did you see that video, Andrea, in the NVPs to Maui group?
I don't know which video that is. I've seen all the videos there's to see on the sharing program though. Is that what you're talking about?
This is something else. It was made by a consultant. Tori is her first name. It's not Tori Tippin, it's another Tori. And it's really, really, really good. And you can send that out to someone and it explains it beautifully.
Can you put that in boards?
Yeah, I can put it in boards and I can post it.
Yeah,
I watched it.
I mean, something as simple like that, Gabby, you can put it in board, like you can like do Reach and then like just put that in the message. And I mean, and if you need help with that, like I can show you how to do that tomorrow. But that's how I usually reach out to all when I have a big list like that.
Perfect.
Okay. So
well, and I was gonna say too, like Gabby, I can totally relate with that, with like just feeling like there are so many people to reach out to about so many different things and like not really knowing where to start. So I know for me, for my sanity, I've kind of changed the way I'm doing my 5 and 5 recently. And I'm just really focusing on kind of follow up. Like I'm not doing as many new right now because I'm also doing so many flash events that like I'm kind of making up for my new, like I'm doing 2 flash events tonight. So of course, like reaching out to everybody after those events, those are all new people. But then like the rest of the week, I've been trying to follow up. Sorry, my notifications are going crazy, but I've been trying to follow up with people about like the mascara or about, you know, just 30 day or about asking them to host or something like that. So I know that's a little different than what we usually do, but like, that's just what I've been doing so that I can kind of like get through my people. And then I'm almost ready to like start doing new again, but I'm not quite there yet.
And one thing to just say about that, I mean, I will say that this has been consistent through every VP I talk to, that they're like, oh yeah, we're not building our businesses that way. Like, I mean, it's business as usual, like the regular stuff. And this is just icing on the cake, you know, like when you find the opportunity to talk to someone about like the sharing bonus, you know, things like that, that option is there, but they're not necessarily like pushing that as a forefront of their business. Like that's just extra, you know? So don't, I guess my point with saying that is don't feel overwhelmed. You know, like, because like, I always think about it like this. Like I think about it like the whole put the oxygen mask on you first. Like that's how I visualize it when it's like, you know, like I do this first. And then like, if I have time in the day to do something else with the extras, you know, the fun stuff that they're launching, I do. But if not, I know that I put the oxygen mask on myself. Does that make sense? So I guess that helps me keep like super focused and because I mean, the other stuff is just bright and shiny. And I mean, there's going to be lots of stuff coming down the pike where, you know, it's a distraction. I mean, we all have distractions, right? I mean, negative ones, positive ones, that's a positive distraction, but it is a distraction, you know, and it's just better to, if we know what the core is of our business, to do that and then like bring in the extra stuff, you know, too. I'm like seeing the chat lighting up, but
Can we hear some fun stories from Mexico? Like what y'all do, what y'all eat?
tons of fun stories from Mexico, but I really want to like find out like from y'all. And I mean, maybe you guys think about it this week, like, because I really want to find out like what we can do for y'all to get you to the next trip, you know, like what do you like, what can we do to help get that everyone's there? Like, I really want you to be thinking about it. Like, what is it that you need from like the team, from the group, from all of us?
So something I was thinking about that I kind of miss is just like, I feel like everybody's energy is a bit lower these days. Maybe that's an understatement, but maybe just like bringing that back with like close day Zoom or like little events that we can do together, which I know is hard because we're all in different places, but just not maybe power hours, like I don't know, something to just kind of like come together, hold each other accountable, and just like kind of up that morale, boost that morale a little more.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just me.
No, I agree. And I mean, this is not specific to Arbonne. This is specific to every industry. I mean, every company. I mean, I know that like Vicki, I see you shaking your head yes, because I know you've been through it with your work. Like this is like everyone. And like even like the other teams that I'm talking to, they're like calls, like are low, like attendance and I mean, I just think that there's cycles to everything. And I mean, I do think that this is just like, I was thinking about this today. I'm like, isn't it going to be like, this is what I was thinking about. I was like, when my kids are in school, I was like, are they going to be learning about the second Great Depression where it was really just everyone was depressed? Like, because it feels like it's like, is everyone out there just low energy? I mean, I don't even know if I'd call it depression, but just like not excited, And so, I think that and I think that that's important. One thing, and I'm going to share this on another call, another training, but like, I love sharing the story because it was so interesting. So right before the trip, Caroline, she's skiing right now. She's on spring break. She's 18 and she booked an event in Gadsden, which is an hour from Birmingham. So, she's like, can you do it? And it was before we were leaving and it wasn't really the most convenient thing for me to like, do an in-person event. Hadn't done that forever, like pack it all up. Like we ride there together. Okay. 10 people were confirmed. Well, 12 people were confirmed. 10 people showed up, all different ages. It was at like this literally like industrial building in their break room. So like nothing fancy. Like this girl hosted and she's like, oh, it'd be easier to do it here instead of at my house. I'll invite everyone. Okay. Like I'm sure like right now that the party has done over 1,500. Like that, and it's not even about that. Like the fact like that, like it did so well because we didn't know it that night. Like it's not like we left that night and we're like 1,500. When we left that night, we were like, that was so much fun. Like we were in and out in an hour and a half. All we did was I had the 30-day set, the age well set. I had a salt scrub at the sink. We did the one sheeter to the front side. The only part about the business was my eye story, and then Caroline's eye story. And that was it. And so it was interesting to me that on the way home, Caroline's like, why don't we do those all the time? And I'm like, I mean, you're more than welcome to. Like, I'm like, I agree. I'm like, this is how I built my business, doing in-person things. She's like, but the energy was just so good. People were excited. It was fun, and she's like, what's the downside? I'm like, well, there's downsides to every way we do anything. There's downsides to the Facebook party, getting someone to host, doing all the follow-up. The downside to like an in-person event is getting someone to host, but like, there's not much follow-up. Like you just go there, but like, you connect with people. And I think that this is like what Arbonne is talking about, like that connection and just what you're talking about, Christiana, that connection is missing. Like we are social beings, and like, I know we can say we can connect virtually and we can, I guess, when we have to be in lockdown, but like when we don't, like it's so nice. But I will say that like, because in talking with Atticus about this with events and stuff like that too, because he does a lot of events with his business, is that people are not like willing to invest the time, like their attention spans are short and their energy for getting together is low. So it's like it wipes them out to go hang out with people. I mean, I know that sounds weird, but like think about any party you've been to. I mean, like they all end early now. People are done by a certain time, and that's not an Arbonne thing. Like that's just people. But I think that that's what Arbonne's talking about. Like the whole connection is that like, and what you're touching on, Christiana, is like the energy's low, and like the only way we can change that is ourselves to like try and bring that up. And I love that idea about doing like close night Zoom. Like that's so fun, you know? Especially when I see other people like getting together in person. I'm like, oh my gosh, that'd be so fun. But then I think about like literally everyone on here pretty much is in a different town, except for Allison, me, Allie, and Polly, you know? So I just think that that's so funny that like we're all spread out, but why not get on a Zoom? Why not have Polly, Allison, and Allie over at my house and we Zoom in to, you know, like Jean and Kristen at her house, you know, like what I'm saying? And like we all try and like get together and bring that energy up. I think that'd be awesome. So that is noted.
Or we could
Energy.
all just fly somewhere on close day and
Every
get
month.
together and do it every month. Just yeah.
Y'all, but I'm telling you, you have to be on the next trip because like, I mean, just like Kristen, like just seeing you, like how funny you are all the time. Like, I mean, no, I'm serious. Like, y'all, it's amazing. Like, I mean, it really is. The trips are so amazing because I really think like my favorite part is being to hang out with someone else's family. I've known Robert for forever now, Polly's husband, but like we had so much fun, like just laughing and talking, and you know, like it was just so great, you know. And so I mean, I want to be able to do that with everyone because it's like I hear so much about like your better half, you know, or like your kids, and I would love to get to know them. You know?
Here's one thing that I will say, like, remember the group that was next to us so Andrea was at a different beach not a different beach, but a little further down, a different building. And remember the group, Andrea, that maybe this was at my beach, but I think it was at ours. Not at yours. They got a whole bunch. They had like probably 15 people there together. And so they took a whole bunch of chairs and a whole bunch of umbrellas and they made a big circle on the beach. And that looked amazing. And like that, just that visual of all of us being there with a big circle of umbrellas and chairs, how fun that would be. I mean, I think sometimes it's just seeing that visual of how fun that would be. And it really is what Andrea said. It's the experience, you guys. We're a family. Like we really are. And we've got each other's back. And I just wanted to share, I do have two quick things because this is really about you guys. But one thing was I met a girl who had been in Arbonne a long time ago. And then she quit, but she kept using the products and kind of kept in touch with her team a little bit here and there. For how many years did I tell you, Andrea? I think she started in 2006, maybe. Maybe she was in a couple of years. And then she didn't rejoin until 2020. And she said, bless you, the reason she rejoined was because when pandemic happened, everybody was so negative, and she remembered her Arbonne team, and she remembered how positive they were, and how fun they were, and how much like a family they were, and how connected they were. And that's what drew her back in. And she was on the trip. You know, she joined in 2020 and she's an area manager now, and she was on the trip. And that story made so much, like, it just struck me like, and I don't know, I just was like, wow, we really have something so special here. And that's like what you're saying, Christiana, we need to foster that. Like we need to foster that. I'm going to tell you a really quick funny story about our party. Remember, Andrea? So the Thursday night was the big party where Arbonne throws like this incredible party. And luckily, Robert and our building was right by the party. So, I mean, there's food galore. There's, 2,000 people or whatever, 2,500 people there, right? So there, I mean, like it's giant, like there's a stage, there's a band, they're warming up, there's all this stuff going on. And all of a sudden it starts sprinkling, and then it starts sprinkling a little more, and then it starts raining. And yes, we ran for cover, but we stayed. And like, I remember Stian, you weren't there yet, Andrea. I remember looking
Which, by the way, serves me well for not getting anywhere on time, because I walked in, my entire family walked in dressed to the nines and dry.
And everybody looked like wet rats except me, because I ran back to my room and blow dried my hair. But Stian, who is our founder's, if you're not sure who he is, he's our founder's son. So, our founder passed away, but Stian is and I laughed my head off. It's raining. I mean, like it's raining. And
Right.
he's standing there making his plate in the rain, no problem. Didn't even phase him. Tyler, everybody's got kicked their shoes off because we're in the sand. I mean, it was like we were there for our party. And so
Yeah.
everybody grabbed some food and ran under like the, in the by the hotel, and like they were under the whatever, and they're still eating and laughing and talking. And as soon as the rain was gone, we were all back out, like, wiping down chairs and sitting in them. And I don't know why that struck me, but it just did. I just thought, wow, that's so cool. It didn't matter. We weren't there. Yes, we were there to look good, but like everybody was sitting there wet. I mean, everybody. Donna Johnson was right next to me with Thomas and her wet rat. Donna, I mean, her hair was soaked and nobody cared. Everybody just went ahead like
Fun.
nothing had happened.
That's so fun.
I thought that was
And
pretty cool.
something you said, Polly, like, I want to tell you all this story about this girl that I met in Arbonne, because it reminded me what you said about about her experience. So one night we went out, it was the night that you and Robert had dinner on the beach. We went to that Japanese steakhouse, where they cook in front of you. And so we were down one person. Phoebe got sick. We think she had some bad ice or something. So she was in the room taking care of that. And so we so it was just me, Etta, and Atticus, and went to dinner. Like, we had reservations. I think it was the only night we had reservations. And so, at those tables where they cook in front of you, it's like people just sit around the table. So this other couple came, and it was this couple from Canada, and this girl is adorable. And so we were just talking, and she's in Arbonne. And so she said the same thing. Like, this is how she was introduced to Arbonne. So she went to one of those like little fairs kind of thing, like how they have like a Christmas fair in your town, or like a whatever, she's like, it was just like this like career fair kind of thing. And she won the C-Source basket, and she was 18 at the time. And she said that she called the lady, and the lady called her, they played phone tag. Well, then she got on the product for like 2 years. She said she had cystic acne, which I don't believe, because her skin is gorgeous. Like, she's so cute. And like, she's like, I had cystic acne. I used the acne line. It cleared it up. She's like, and I've been a product user for 2 years. She's like, but the thing is, she's like, the community was what dragged me in. She's like, I went to a car presentation, the person who had reached out to her. She's like, would go to her events that she'd have. And she was telling me, she's like, that's the amazing thing now, is that there's people in Arbonne, like Carrie, I think about you, like, you've only been to one thing, like one thing, like you're not like, so you haven't even like seen like the whole reason that like, and if you kind of got to think about that, like she was saying that, she's like, there's so many people who've like come and gone already in this business and have never gotten to experience like the community, and so I was like, you're right. And she's like, because she's like, if there was no community she's like, that was what brought me in, So I definitely think that like, yeah, like, let's up the energy and, like, be to each other what we need it to be, but like, not because like you have this goal and it has to be here. I mean, literally it could be that, hey, you just need community, or you just need to pay for preschool, or I mean, like, whatever your goal is, it's not too small, not too big, that we all, rally around each other and help everyone get to where they want to be. But I hope all of y'all's goal is the trip, because, oh my gosh, it would be so much fun if we were all together.
And there were some district managers on the trip, by the way. I met some, and because I kind of quote assumed, I guess, wrongly, that anybody that earned it would be at least an area. But this one lady was like, no, I'm a district, but she still earned it. So anybody can earn it. Like, really, you can do it if you want to. And I guess I would want to leave everybody with just thinking about that circle on the beach, like us being together and circling up, and just, it's just incredible. It really is, you guys. You have to come, and you have to be there. And also, I was thinking about how Donna Weiser was in my building. Okay, there was something else embarrassing that I did. I didn't even tell you about this, Andrew. Oh God. There was a couple of really embarrassing things that I did. But Donna Weiser was in my building, and she was the person that inspired me at my very first conference. And I know her now, but I got to talk to her and hug her. And that's really special, But also, Andrea, by the way, so who was it? Seth and Amy Perry and Ryan, this guy that's on the Tuesday call with me. So they were there also right downstairs from us. And Seth came out and I was like, oh, hey, Ryan. And then I was like, oh no, I mean, Wade. And then I was like, oh my God, you're Seth Perry. And he's like, I know there's only 3 guys in Arbonne and I'm one of them. And I was like, I knew it was one of them. I was so embarrassed, but anyway, I got it right eventually. I also
hilarious.
volunteered to break dance on stage. I'm just gonna leave that there. It was not pretty. It was very embarrassing and I will never do it again.
I did not do that.
Is there a video
That was
of
without
this?
alcohol.
Oh, yeah, there's a
There
video.
is video. And Andrea, did you not get the video that I sent?
I didn't get it until we were on the plane for some reason. But I didn't
No.
show Atticus yet. But Atticus is like, oh no, I'm watching that video.
Oh, it was so bad because, okay, y'all.
Aw, you
listen.
gotta post that.
No, absolutely not. But
She
listen,
said she was
okay,
so
let me
embarrassed she
tell you.
started sweating.
I thought that when they said volunteers, like the show was amazing. And I thought, okay, then they said volunteers. I was like, oh, I'll go up because I thought we were all going to like dance behind them or something for like a minute. I get up there, me and 5 guys, and they pair us with one of the real dancers. And they're like, okay, 45 minutes later, I'm the last one to go. Everybody's like cheering. So they do a dance and we're supposed to like do the dance like them. I was sweating. I was so nervous. And I'm not kidding. It looked like there were 2,000 people in the audience. And like the lights are on the stage and it was horrible. It was so bad. I got off and I was like, I told Robert, never, ever. If I ever say, like, oh yeah, I'll do it, pull me back. It was bad. Yes, there's video. And no, I will not post it. No, Kristen Nyman. No. But I will send it to you if you're sick because I sent it to Andrea's. I sent it for Phoebe because I felt bad for Phoebe. She was sick and I was like, okay, here, this will cheer her up. So if you're sick,
Feeling really poorly, Polly, you should send it right away.
Yeah.
Huh?
I just have,
I think
do
you
have
need
to tell
send
you
it right
this.
now.
So like my kids had an amazing time in spite of, okay, the 2 things that happened was Etta had wanted to like bring like this lemon juice water concoction that she saw on TikTok to put highlights in her hair. And I'm like, no, I don't think you can bring it in because it's it's, you know, a food item, blah, blah, blah.
No. Don't do that to her hair. Please tell me she didn't do that.
Oh, no, let me tell you what she did because it was worse. So she's like, well, I'm sure the same will work with limes. And I tell her this story. I said, well, when I was little and vacationing in Mexico, Christina, my sister, was eating a lime out of her drink. And the bartender came over freaking out in Spanish. Don't do it like you get burns. And she's like, I'm not going to put it on my skin, Mom. I'm putting it in my hair. She has chemical burns, literally like all like I had to like at the meeting, like start messaging like people in the group if they had cortisone cream because like the infirmary didn't have like they only had antibacterial ointment. Y'all, it's like they blistered like all I mean like and again as her mom I hate to say I told you so because it was so bad. Like I had no idea it would do like what it did. Like, so she was like, had to stay in one day. Like we had to put like all this ointment all like, she's like, I look like the Joker. Like it literally like looked like her smile went all the way over here. It was bad. And then Phoebe got that Montezuma's revenge. Like, yeah. So that was interesting. And like the day before we have to fly back, like she like almost wouldn't make it down to her COVID test. You know, you have to take a COVID test to re-enter the United States. And I'm like, no, you have to go. I'm like, we're not staying. So, but all that to say, they had an amazing time and so much fun and are already looking forward to like the next one. Like it's going to be so fun. So are y'all all registered for Punta Cana, by the way? Yes. Okay, good. Let's do
It's
it.
free
Okay.
to register. So go register after this call.
So
I wanted to quick build on something that you said earlier, but with the community side of things, like you said, the was it Path to Empower was my first in-person trip, and when I tell you it was exactly what I needed at that time, it 100% was. And like you guys saying that like we're gonna get rid of like the every Sunday night calls, part of me is like, no, because I'm that one person that like I may not show up every night, but when I do, it's because I'm like, I need this tonight. And most of the time I need it. Just because it really does like, even if I don't stay consistent throughout the week, it's just such a positive like source of community, like you said, and like being able to spend that like literally less than 48 hours with you guys over Path to Empower, like that was like literally exactly what I needed, because like I was not in a good place at that time. And like those of you that know me, like I got married in COVID, I had a kid in COVID, we actually just put an offer on a house, technically still in COVID, and it got accepted. So like now we're in the process of buying a house, and it's so much all at once. But one of the consistent things that I have is this community, even if my business is not consistent, which is the next thing that we're working on. But still, I love you too, Lauren Rose. Yeah, but still, like even just like when I'm having like an awful day, like I know that I'm probably gonna get a message from Andrea or Lauren Rose being like, how's it going? How you doing? I'm like, I'm melting. It's awful. But still they're like, I'm so sorry. And then we move on, and then it's all positive and it's wonderful. But like still having the community is what's kept me here. As well as the paycheck, because that helps too. But still, that's the most consistent thing about my journey with Arbonne is the community. And I'm not leaving anytime soon because of that.
That's awesome.
So that was all I had to say.
Well, and if
so
you
can
want
we
us to
do like more things
do a
like
special like Sunday night call for you, Carrie, like me,
Oh,
you,
cool.
Lauren Rice.
Cool, sounds good. I'm down.
If you're like, I need one. And again, like things can change in the future. And who was it that had mentioned that we're having that group, that level up group for people who are wanting to get to the next level in their business by GTC. And again, that's not for everyone. So like, don't get FOMO, you know, like if you're like, oh, I should be in it. If your heart's not in it and you don't really care about like getting to the next level in your business before July, don't worry about it. You're still part of the community, you know, like it's just that this one's going to be like a little bit more focused and like consistent driven, you know, like activity based and, you know, getting your mind right, like all of that kind of thing. So yeah, so like, don't feel like, again, everyone has a spot, you know? So it just depends like where you are in that moment. But there's no reason why we can't all be together in Punta Cana. So, all right. Well, I don't want to keep y'all on, but please be thinking about this over the next week and just either shoot me a message, you know, just like, hey, I really could, this is what I need. Because I mean, I want to make sure that what I'm doing is like that I'm helping everyone get to where they want to go, you know, and sometimes it's hard to figure that out, you know, to be like, what is it that they need? I mean, y'all don't need any more training. Y'all know what to do. You know, like it is not rocket science, you know, so it's like we've got all the tools. Like you literally could like never be told what to do and just go on our website and figure it out. But it's like, but what do you need from us to like get you to where you want to be? You know, so just be thinking about that over the next week. And next Sunday we'll have the call because it'll be the first Sunday of the month. And let's do a close day call. We'll do like a close day party for sure. All right. So be looking for that. And yeah, we'll go from there.
Thank you.
Yeah, y'all have a great night and a great week.
Thanks, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.